Hello YouTube and welcome back to my CS2 YouTube channel and welcome back to my $150 a week investing series. I apologize for the late video this week. I started filming like 3 days ago and I filmed the entire video, and when I went to go edit the video there was no audio. So that entire video just went out the window. So I'll still show the investments that I made, and I'm going to be making the exact same investments right now. So it's kind of a two-in-one. I'm going to be investing $300 this week into the CS2 economy, which I think right now is a perfect time to buy. Even since I started making that video yesterday, or a couple days ago, the market cap has recovered back to its peak market cap. So we are in a fantastic prime position to buy, like second mortgage out on your house type of position to buy. I would be putting as much money as you can into the CS2 economy right now, especially on cases, which is the title of this video. I think that CS2 cases are going to explode. Just want to make a quick comment about my last video. There are some people questioning the quality of the investments that I were making for that video, like the glove case. People say that there isn't enough ROI potential there because the case is already so expensive. I kind of disagree. I think that case can still double. But there is something to be said for investing into cheaper cases, which we have talked about. We have talked about other cheaper cases like the Prisma and the Snakebite, things like that, which as well in this video I'm going to be talking about something like the Snakebite. But as well, this series, I'm talking about so many different items, and I just want to try to not repeat myself. I want to keep my videos unique and entertaining. So I talked about things like the glove case, which I think is in a prime position to buy. I think that is still a great investment. I don't second guess myself on that. And then the glitters, a lot of those glitters people said were questionable and a beginner mistake, which I just don't see that. And again, I'm not a beginner. I've been doing this for years. And with that being said, the Renegades glitters that we bought last week, the Renegades Antwerp Hollow shot up a ton, up to like $40 a hollow. See, like the EG hollow, which is up to $140 Steam price, up from $1 to $140. There's people paying off their mortgages with these stickers. But anyways, the Antwerp Renegades hollow went up like crazy, bringing the Renegades glitter hollow, or the Renegades glitter, up along with it. I bought the Renegades glitters at 10 cents a piece, and now they're sitting at a little bit over 30 cents a piece. So again, I was looking for something that was unique, that was a glitter, which is effectively discontinued. So I don't think there's anything beginner about any of that. Anyways, moving on with this video. So right now, the reason why I think we're in such a prime position to buy, one, not only the CS2 market cap just going way up, but the cases at the moment are still kind of flatlined and still even decreasing. At this point, they are gaining a few points here and there, as people are seeing this and making their investments, making their moves. But first thing I want to look at is the player count. Specifically in July and August, that's when the player count is the lowest. During the summer months, people are outside, not really playing the game. So every July, August, September area is when you'll see lower player numbers. And look back here, July, August, lower player numbers, July, August, lower player numbers. So we're at the point where we're about to start spiking up in player count again. As well, if we want to look at a little bit historical numbers, this is a tiny bit cherry picked, but July 2024 unboxing numbers, only 18 million cases. July 2025 unboxing numbers, 37 million cases. So we're still opening a fuck ton of cases, even with lower player count. And we're just grinding through these cases, these rare cases, which have a steadily decreasing supply. Some of them are getting really rare at this point. And yeah, it's just decreasing supply, increasing demand. Economics 101. So for this video, obviously we're going to be investing into cases, and I'm going to try to get a mix of what I consider to be core cases, some of the classics, some of the best cases that you can invest into. What I consider to be core cases, something like the Chroma 2, something like the Gamma 2, something like the Spectrum 2, And then for the cheaper cases, which we've talked about, Clutch, Danger Zone, Prisma 2, and then Snakebite, the little brother. But Snakebite's not my favorite, but there is something to be said for the cheapest rare case. The floor will always rise with the ceiling. So while other cases rise in price, this will tag along with it, just being the cheapest option. And has that ROI potential. One day this case can be, $1.50, $2. Something, alongside something like the Danger Zone case, which is already over $2. I've talked about this before, but out of these three here, the Chroma 2, Gamma 2, and the Spectrum 2, the Spectrum 2 right now is my least favorite because I think there is a fatigue with the Spectrum knife finishes, being the Fever case with all the new Spectrum finishes on the new age knives. Everybody's opening this case like crazy. I think it was like 10 million last month opened. So there's just easy access to these Spectrum finishes, and you can get them on sick knives like the Skeleton. You can get Skeleton rubies and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot less of a reason to open something like the Spectrum or Spectrum 2. So Chroma 2 cases and Gamma 2 cases are my favorite. And out of these two, the Gamma 2 is my personal favorite. I think there's an exclusivity factor to the golds in this case. I think emeralds are always just going to be a tier above rubies and sapphires, and you can only really get Gamma knives out of these Gamma 2 cases, and then Riptide cases, or Dreams and Nightmares cases, which is the most expensive actively dropping case by far, being over $2, while the rest are 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. And then obviously the Operation Riptide case, which is like a $14 case. So the best way to open Gamma knives is the Gamma 2 case, really. Comparing unboxing numbers, the Spectrum 2 case does have more unboxing than the Gamma 2 case, but I think it does fluctuate to where sometimes the Gamma 2 is more and sometimes it's not. Either way, you can never go wrong with any of these three cases. If you invest into Chroma, Gamma, or Spectrum, you're never going to go wrong. All of these charts look pretty much exactly the same, and they are at a very similar price point. So looking at these price graphs, you can see we're on a massive, massive decline, losing like a huge percentage of gains, almost $1. Or if you look at the very peak, over $1 in losses. So these charts looking a little bit more normal as you cut out these insane price spikes. So combined with the low player count, combined with the unboxing numbers, I think the case market is in a position to explode. I think by February of next year, this graph is going to be way up here, like this. It's going to scoot up that way. So I would be putting as much money as you can into any of these three cases. So just to look at what I did for the last video, and I'm just again going to copy what I bought in the last video, but I'm just going to buy it again just to, whatever, why not? Keep the video going. I want to invest more money anyways. I think that this is a really good time to buy, as I've been saying. So I don't mind spending $300 instead of $150. But we did Chroma cases, Chroma 2 cases, did Gammas, Snakebites, Chroma 2, some Prisma scattered in there, more Gamma. So we did a very nice spread of more high tier rare cases in the Gamma 2 and the Chroma 2. I excluded the Spectrum 2 for the reasons that I said. It's just not my favorite. I don't like it competing directly with the Fever case. That's why I went with the Chroma 2 and the Gamma 2. And then to get a taste into this lower tier rare cases, the Prisma 2 being my favorite out of all of them. Reasons I've explained in another video. I can link that video where I talk about this topic in the description below, and then you can skip to the timestamp where I talk about the Prisma 2. But Prisma 2 being my favorite out of the, Clutch, Danger Zone, Snakebite. I think the Prisma 2 has the best fundamentals. But then I did invest into the Snakebite because there is something to be said for the cheapest rare case, as I've talked about. And again, you can't go wrong with any rare case. Invest at any rare case you want ever, and you'll do fine. At the end of the day, this is when risk management comes into play. All of these cases, all these rare cases, are very safe investments that will go up over time, have small dips here and there, very easy to predict, very easy to buy these dips. Right now is an obvious dip. Right now is when you should be buying. So, and even if you were to buy at the peak, you're going to win in the long run. You just have to hold for a year or more. Investments in general should be long term. You should never be trying to time markets, whether it's stocks or cases or whatever it is. So some people see these gains from cases and they are amazing, but they want more. And with higher gains comes higher risk. So you need to be looking for investments that are generally more risky, that you could lose money on, or you could just be sitting on for a long time. And when you're looking for these more risky investments, you can still be smart about it to choose things that are limited, low quantity, from a long time ago, very old. So when I look at a risky investment like the Renegade's glitter, I used logic to get there. I didn't just buy some random sticker I found on the market for 10 cents a pop. I saw that it was discontinued, and I saw that it was from a old team that isn't coming back anytime soon, and that the Antwerp version, the hollow version, could do very well. I didn't just I thought about it before I bought it, is what I'm saying. In general, a riskier investment is going to be something that doesn't have the spotlight on it, something that isn't being covered in investment videos, something that isn't in the public eye, something that people aren't paying attention to, something that if you invest into it, people are going to call you dumb. People like to ride hype trains. People are buying EG hollows at $100 a piece right now because they want to ride the hype train. People always want to buy high and sell low, but you want to buy stuff at the floor price when people aren't paying attention to them. So an example of investment that I made that everybody called me stupid for, I bought a storage unit full of Fluxo hollows, Paris 2023, and I knew that it had a massive supply and all of that, but it was my favorite sticker, very unique sticker, and had really high application rate. So I said, it's so cheap, it's under $1 a piece. I can fill up a storage unit for very cheap. Let me just do it. And now I'm sitting on around $3,000. They're around $3 a piece now. So whenever the spotlight isn't on something is when you want to be buying it. So another example. So here's some of the remnants of my last video, but we're going to be doing all of this again, basically just doubling this investment. But I just bought a couple of these for fun. I mean, again, risky investment, not many eyes on this, but it's so rare. These are from a discontinued, anything Riptide is going to be a great investment. And if you look at these charts, they are still going up over time very nicely. They are appreciating very nicely, even without any hype trains or anything like that. So I think that this sticker could easily be a $50 sticker. And I bought some of these stupid poison frogs, these lore frogs. The other poison frogs are really good too. I think the Doppler one is even more expensive, like $50. But I think that these stickers could easily be $100, $200 sticker. And if you look at other examples from back in the day, the bayonet frog patch, it's like a $400, $600 patch, and it was probably like $5 back in the day. So I like to buy things that aren't in the spotlight, which is why I'm investing a lot of money into sport and field collection and stuff like that. No one is talking about small arms charms. Maybe Valve doesn't release charms again for another like 3 years, and all of these end up spiking in price like crazy, like Agents did. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities that you can find for yourself. You just have to think about them a little bit. As well, another move that I made just recently, I had Imperial Blades gloves, minimal wear, and I traded them for a shit ton of Gamma 2 and glove cases. So I liquidated my gloves for cases because that's how much I believe in them. I think that this is a prime time for cases. As well, my Imperial Blades have been appreciating price as well pretty decently, so I just wanted to cash in on that a little bit and try to get an even better position to try to make more money. And again, talking about hype trains, you can do this more risky investment strategy, which is a little bit more like gambling, but if you be smart about it. And if you just hold for long enough, if the investment doesn't end up working out, if you hold this for 2 years, it'll be back where it was or more. But either way, all of these glitters have been going up in value, and I've just been hoarding as many as I can. We got, yeah, all of these are 30 cents a piece. Bought them for 10 cents a week ago. Just, yeah, you can find good opportunities. When I was making this video a couple days ago and I invested $150 into all these cases, I did like a 2/3, 1/3 split. 2/3 being more on the rare case end and a third being on the cheaper rare case end. So I put $50 into Gamma 2, $50 into Chroma 2, and then 25 into Prisma 2 and 25 into Snakebite, which is the exact same thing I'm going to be doing today. So 15 cases, to keep it in even numbers, $51.90. 15 Gamma 2 cases. Chroma 2 being a little bit more expensive, can only get 13 of these for another $50, putting us at $100.16. So 36 Snakebite cases comes out to about $25. Prisma 2 being a little bit more expensive, well, double the price almost of the Snakebite, can only get 17 of these for $25. But 82 cases overall. You can just tell how much more expensive cases are getting recently. With just that number, this $150 used to be able to get you like, yeah, a whole storage unit. But either way, another little tip for people, that if you use something like CSGO Float and you pay with a credit card, you actually can get rewards back with your credit card while making an investment. So like I have a Bank of America card and I get 4%, or it's like 3.5% back on online purchases. So I'm getting 3.5% back on this purchase. So makes it a little bit cheaper, and especially when you have that min-maxing mindset to try to make the best investments possible. You know, it's kind of nice to have a credit card bonus on your cases that you're buying. So going ahead with this purchase, and combined with our purchase a couple days ago, we're sitting at like 67 Snakebite cases and 20-something Chroma cases and 30-something Gamma 2s. You know, a very nice haul. As well, I just want to reiterate this. This series is supposed to be for regular people. I think that you can easily afford to make these investments. I'm not rich. I'm a regular guy. I work a 40, 50-hour work week in here in the Northeast, and I save a lot, and I have a lot of money left over to invest into things like my investment account and something like CSGO, which I love. And I consider CSGO as well to be, just in general, a riskier investment on the investing spectrum. Something like a Fidelity account is going to be much, much safer investing into like in the S&P 500. So I have enough left over to invest into all sorts of things. Something more risky like CS2. I as well really like metals. I really like silver and gold, which has made me a lot of money too recently. Stocks, I have a lot less knowledgeable about stocks. I find that world scary, and CS2 is what I know. I've been playing this game since I was a kid, so I know everything about this market, and I feel safer here. I don't know a lot about stocks, but I have been pretty lucky with my picks. And again, whenever I buy an investment, I'm holding for years. I'm not trying to time the markets. So almost everything I've ever bought has just gone up over time. Just for fun, before I end off this video, just want to show one of my other investments that I made on the side. These Pokemon. I like investing into Pokemon. I think it's fun. But here's the year graph for a Silver Tempest booster box. I bought these back, over a year ago. I bought them for under $150 a piece. $444 today, unopened. I bought this one for around $700, maybe a little bit more, maybe like $730 after taxes and stuff. But yeah, now you can't find one for like anywhere near that price. The cheapest I see them is like $2,300, $2,400, $2,500. But the cheapest unboxed or unopened one on TCG Player, $2,750. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So collectibles in general, not just CS2 skins. The sports card market is going crazy. Pokemon is going crazy. Collectibles in general are just going crazy. So I thought this was just fun. Just wanted to share some of my other successful investments that I've made. So anyway, guys, I want to thank everyone for all the support on the recent videos. Again, sorry for this video being a little bit late. Got a little bit discouraged with my other video just getting completely wiped. But again, giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. Not sure what I'm going to give away yet. Maybe leave some ideas in the comments below. And again, I'm not rich, so don't suggest M9 Doppler. I'm not giving away multi-$100 item. So suggest some low com shit in the in the comments below, and I'll figure out what I want to do for the giveaway. Channel's been growing rapidly, and I appreciate everyone's support. And I'm going to try to get better at being more consistent and uploading these videos, uploading them with high quality. So, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.